What's going on, y'all? Hope everyone's having a beautiful day. On my flag build video, which has been doing amazing, thank you guys so much for the support on that. But on that video, a couple of you wanted to see how this build does against HEMOVOROUS, or how to just go about the fight in general. So today I'm going to show you guys how much of a breeze this fight really is, along with a little game plan on how to approach this fight, and utilize the build just to stay alive and get this fight done easy peasy. So we're going to start off by going over the gear and some of the skill points we have that are going to help us out in this fight. And really the only weapon you're going to need for this is a decent roll Monarch. You don't need a god roll, but if you're sitting somewhere around the 12k damage by 4, you should be pretty good. And of course, having the while fadeaway is active, weapon damage is increased by 150%. That anointment is also going to give you a huge boost and something I'd recommend getting before you jump into this fight. And if you guys would like to see an iridium farming video, let me know. I'd be happy to make one of those. But anyways, moving down to our revolter. On the revolter, you're going to want something with either a really high capacity like what I have, or you're going to want something with some reflect or absorb rolls on it. These are just the best options you have for sustainability on your shield. And then moving over to grenades, I personally like to run the cryo recurring hex. It just slows enemies down and makes things a little bit more manageable for me. Or you can run the It's Piss grenade if you want to try and squeeze out a little bit of extra damage. But what I would suggest if you're really struggling to stay alive is try and get some type of transfusion tracker. If you can get the power siphon that gives you shield and health, that's going to ultimately be the best. And also, if you can get the on action skill start, regenerate a grenade, this will keep you supplied up since we're going to be farming that fadeaway so often. And before I get into the skill tree, I will put up an updated picture of it because I have respec'd around a little bit since the last video. But the main thing we're going to want to pay attention to over here is the skill turn, tail, and run. Because basically this is going to be one of your best ways to stay alive, and it's just move. If you're not invisible and you're not in fadeaway, move around, you're going to get damage reduction and 0.9% of your max health regenerated per second. Which it may not seem like a lot, but if you do the math, it's honestly a pretty good chunk. And then also rage and recover. If you're really down on health and you're just kind of getting bombed by everything, try and pick up a few kills on the larvas, because this can trigger your skill and get you 8% of your missing health per second back. Now let's go over a few things to keep in mind in game while you're fighting this boss. The first thing is going to be to just farm your fadeaway. That's where you're going to get the majority of your damage, so there's no use sitting there just shooting HEMOVOROUS while you're getting blasted by his attacks. When you can get use out of your turn, tail, and run, move around the map, keep yourself alive, maybe shoot a little bit with your light show or another gun to just try and get that action skill going. And then of course, once you farm it up, you're going to be invisible, less likely to get hit by all those attacks, and you're going to maximize your damage output on the boss. The next thing is just focus on one of them at a time. Don't be sitting there going between Vermivorous and Hermivorous. Just focus on one. I definitely suggest going after Hermy first. But focus on him, get him killed, and then move on to the next boss. Don't be sitting there juggling the two and then you have two of them flying in the air at the same time. It's just going to make it a lot easier and a lot simpler. Also, it's going to be kind of inevitable that you're going to go down in a fight for your life, so don't get discouraged at this, but rather know how to utilize your surroundings and how to get out of it quickly. A few things to look for is the larva that Hermy shoots out. You can easily like one-shot those and get a fight for your life revive. Or of course you have Meat Thief to revive you as long as he's alive. Or also look for the pods on the ground. Those have very low health and it's really easy to pick up a kill on those. And if I haven't said it enough, stay mobile. When you're not sitting there in fadeaway, like I said, move around, get your health regen, get your damage reduction, wait for your fadeaway, and then go for the kill. If there's anything you guys have a little bit more questions on, please leave a comment. I'm always reading those and I'd be more than happy to answer your questions. But I think we have a pretty decent gameplay and this isn't a super hard fight, so let's go ahead and get into this. Alright, so here we are at the boss fight. That's not my interact key. Here we are at the boss fight. I'm going to try and talk you guys through this the most I can. If I get a little bit too locked in and stop talking, I might just throw in some badass music to fill in the empty space. But like I said, I'll try and give you guys my thought process throughout this to kind of give you a way to go about the fight. But until then, I'm probably just going to skip this forward until I get to the actual boss themselves. Alright, now we're done with all the boring stuff. Time for the actual fight itself. So like I said, we're going to keep moving. We don't got our fadeaway right now. Fire off a couple shots, try and farm that up a little quicker. Get our fadeaway, pop that bipod out, and get to mowing. Maybe get thrown around a little bit too. That's okay. So as you guys can see, one fadeaway takes out about half of his armor. That's why I'm saying don't try and rush this fight and make it more stressful than it is. Just play it to your time. Oh shit. Play it to your time, play it to your pace. Get through it. And like I said, you might get bombed like that every now and then. Pick up a kill on a Barkid, Pod, whatever you can get your hands on. Get our fadeaway back. Go ahead and finish off the rest. Okay. Let's try that again. So, as you can see, we are going to down, but we're going to get through it. We're going to go ahead, light up his second half of armor. We might get bombed by some pupas every 5 seconds, but it's okay, because we're going to stay alive. We're not dead. We're going to stay alive, keep hammering him with damage, and before you know it, armor is gone. There we go. Like I said, I'm downing every 2 seconds, but does it really matter in the grand scheme of things? Yeah, you can go for a flawless run that's going to look better and be cleaner, but we're just here to get the job done, and the job is getting this kill. So, fadeaway back up. Time to pop that and let it rip. And maybe get smacked by a pupa or two. But, we fight and we prevail. That's the important part, is we prevail. Fadeaway back up. HEMOVOROUS is dead. Just like that. And I'm down again. But it's okay. But it's okay. And now we got just Vermi left, and he's honestly a lot easier to take care of. It's okay, Vermi. It's okay, Vermi. That booty's gonna be mine soon. And just like that. Oh. And just... Come on! Just like that. Just like that. And just like that, you're done. You're done. Ooh, well, thank you, Mr. HEMOVOROUS. And looks like Vermi didn't feel like dropping a legendary. That's sweet. So you guys have it. HEMOVOROUS versus one clip flak. Easy peasy lemon squeezy. Key takeaways are just utilize your skills and your gear to their full potential. Take this fight slow and easy. Do it at your own pace. Don't rush damage. Don't rush kills. And I promise you guys can get it done too, and also farm these bosses very easily for some loot. Now, if you guys really want to see a challenge, 25 likes on this video and I will do the Malawan Black Site takedown on the true takedown mode. This is the one thing in Borderlands that has brought me down to my lowest point, but I'll do it for the entertainment of the people if you guys want to see it. So, any more questions, video ideas, whatever you guys want to see, leave it down in the comments below. If this helped you out, like, subscribe for some more content, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Deuces.